Yeah, g'day, it's Rod here, and it's roast day, so I'm decided to do a bit bigger walk and just show you some of the food options around this area and just some of the costs of things. You're never going to see me sit down and eat food. That's not something that anybody should look at as me eating food. A lot of people like to do that on these sorts of films, so not me, but I'll show you some of the places you can eat and some of the prices you'll pay. So let's go and have a look at one of my favourite spots. Okay, Paris Levain. It's got an amazing cabinet. It's not 10 o'clock, so it's not got that much in the cabinet at the moment. But if we come up and have a look, that's the hot bread cabinet. And when that's chocker, it's absolutely magnificent. So we're going to have a look. Have a good day, bloke. So if we go around and have a look at some of the places you can, there's lots of different cuisines in this one street, and we'll walk down and have a look at a few of them. There's one thing you can miss out on in Da Nang. It's restaurants and spas to get a massage. Some of the nicest places are actually these ones here, these little Vietnamese pop-ups. Great food, awesome food for you to have a look at. People come along. There's a Chinese place here, and a restaurant like this, a dish you're going to pay about $8 for individual seafood dishes, which are quite reasonable. So as we go down and have a look, there's a couple of really nice hotels in this part of town that I haven't shown you before. So this is Alani. A lot of people stay here. I quoted the prices last week. That bar over there, Cop Bar, is a nice place. They have live music, so there's lots of places in town that have live music. Then you get your specialist seafood places. Then they've always got the fish tanks and the shrimp tanks and all these sorts of tanks. And they cook their seafood fresh. I got to tell you, the only time I ever got a dose of food poisoning here was from a 5-star restaurant, right? So, and here's a dumpling place. Here's dumplings for 100,000. Cucumber salad, nice salads, nice spa. G'day. And what you have is, then all around town you got these little marts. So they're just little food shops. Here you can buy all your alcohol as well at pretty bloody reasonable prices. You get wine for sort of $10 to $20 a bottle. And people love this sort of stuff. This is a bit of a, just here is this is probably the biggest, I use this almost as a lanyard. This is Muntang. This is an apartment building where you can rent apartments for a month. A lot of people come here. And then you've got banking over there. So let's go back and make a beeline back for Aussie Bistro. So one of the other things I wanted to talk about today was the weather. All right. So I'm going to get caught in the rain, so you're going to see rain. Guess what? We're in the tropics, people. And when you're in the tropics, you're going to get wet. And people say to me all the time, "Oh, what about the weather, Rod?" And I say, guys, it's the tropics, okay? When you're in the tropics, all right, rain. And it rains all the time. It's like living in Cairns, all right? So it rains. And the majority of rain here, last year it was December, end of November, December, January. This year it started a little bit earlier. You know, you get, last week has been an absolute disaster for this area. You know, what happened in Hue was terrible, right? So if anybody doesn't know, Hue had See, look in there, you see the bistro. Hoi had 1 metre of rain in a day, alright? It's the second largest recording of rain anywhere. Okay, here's a little girl, come on, put the hoodie on, darling. Look out. So when you get rain as savage as that, there's not much you can do about it. Old mate of mine and Bobby always says, Bobby Miles always said, you know, we get a lot of extreme events these days. A lot of extreme events, but I won't get into that topic at the moment. Some people disagree, some people agree. But you're never going to know. So the weather from about January, February through to September, October, it's always, you know, you're going to get a bit of a scud every now and then, but it's not bad. You know, a bit of rain, never. And when you're too old to shrink and too young to rust, it's all okay. So this is actually a road, a gazetted road, that nobody tends to look after in front of the bar. We started cutting it all down and making it clean, but we stopped that. So with the weather, you're looking at around Brisbane temperatures, but doesn't go low. All right, so you'll have temperatures in 30s, late 30s, and it's hot. All right, it's hot. Gets down to about 18 or 20 at night time in winter. You know, unfortunately, you get acclimatised, and last year I had to wear a coat. That was mainly for the rain and to keep it out. But there's plenty of indoor things to do here. Just spoke to a bloke up there who's teaching 10-pin bowling. All sorts of things are coming here. But what people do is they just love living in this part of the country. So weather, yes, we get extreme weather events. We all get extreme weather events. If you have a look at the typhoons, they all start off in the Philippines and come here. And we'll come down to the bistro now, and everybody hears about it, but the soul of this place is Yui. So we're going to walk up to the bar. Of course, it's pouring. I don't have an umbrella, but it doesn't matter. Yui Dang, say hello. Hi Rory. We'll have a look at the roast for the day. Jung took cooked roast today. I had a morning off today. Had a day off, so oh my god, Jung Dang. Look at this. The lamb's right, big lamb legs today. Nice bit of beef. So it's all going really well. If you want to excuse me, enjoy your life, have a bit of fun, see the world. You know, if you look at the weather at the moment, it's a so-called typhoon that's come across from the Philippines. It's like this in a lot of Southeast Asian countries. Yeah, we'll have a look at the and there we go. Of course, rugby was a bit of a disaster. All right, rugby league got up really well, so we played England twice. So go for the day, and we'll have a great day. And there's Bin Dang, Yui Dang, saying hello, gorgeous girls. And there's our stuff. So, you know, I've got a lot of comments about everything, but you know, this place is not perfect. I'll tell you what, I just had a conversation with a guy from the UK, and his comments were, since 2020, people have made all sorts of bad mistakes in the West and made it particularly difficult for people to live, particularly old people who've been, you know, constant changes to superannuation, making things difficult. So here is a lovely, simple life, I've got to tell you. And that's what I enjoy about it, is the simplicity of the life. I work long hours, you know, between 14, 16 hours a day here to make things work in all sorts of different areas. We've got all sorts of people coming here, working with a lovely group of people at the moment in relation to dental work. So if anybody wants any dental work, get in touch with me. There's a lot of people here, the visas we're working on, but one of the universities we're working with on the visas is University of Hawaii. So guess what? University of Hawaii doesn't want to talk to anybody at the moment. So we've stopped down visa negotiations just for a moment, but hopefully we'll start them up in the next few weeks. So everybody have a good week, be safe, and we'll talk to you in the next couple of days, eh?